Yo guys, welcome back to Tim Trades. It's been a few days, so I thought I'd better get back on the old videos and give you guys an update. I plan to do a wee bit of Bitcoin. We'll do a small amount on the kind of maybe higher term time frames, but there's not too much change there. Then I'll dive into what I'm kind of looking for on the short term. I want to also look at DEVVE. Always get some encouragement on the back of some DEVVE videos. And PAPPLE, Pineapple Exchange, relatively new project, looks like a solid wee chart, certainly from launch. So that's the plan today. Before I do that, guys, I've got an incredible offer. Started working with Coincatch Exchange, so they have got an offer on at the moment, which is pretty nuts, to be honest. Basically, if you sign up with my link in the description below and deposit, well, anything really, but up to $500, you're going to get a 5k, 5 grand trading bonus. So you can dive on there and just trade away with that. It's for a limited period, but the bonus is yours. All the winnings you make off that 5 grand, you keep. So it's like a proper no-brainer. Normally, I think you'd have to deposit something like 100 grand to get that bonus. So it's a cracking deal. Links in the description. Just ape on there and Bob's your Uncle Fanny's your auntie. Right, no more shilling. Into the Bitcoin price action. I'll jump on the index. Let's go back to the 5-day. We were using the Gaussian channel to give us some kind of bias on where things are going. I don't know if I've still got the Gaussian channel up here. No, I don't. I'll need to drop that on. There it is there. Cool. So we've broken in. I've not really looked at this, I'll be honest with you. Let me get rid of the harmonics. So I don't really rehearse these. I just ape on it and let you know my thoughts. That's the best way. So yeah, we've broken it at the bottom side. You know, in essence, if when that's happened in the past, it's typically given us a move to the middle. Now, obviously, this is moving up as we go here. So the centre's currently, it's just below the last low. So I hope we don't break. Hope we don't break the last low. No, like I'm a good trader, but I'm good on the short term, right? That's where my expertise lies. I've got my own like in kind of mechanisms, and I would trade like super short term. But if you listen to like Eric Crown and these guys who I still listen to as well, and he's the kind of guy I learned to trade from, all his all his tutorials, and I bought his course many moons ago. Anyway, he's suggesting a wick below the last low. It's kind of going to invalidate the bull market, right? Or a close below. Let me say that again, a close below there. So let's hope nothing happens immediately, and it gives us a wee chance to grind up here this center part of the Gaussian channel, and we don't make a new low, because you know, it wouldn't look great if we made a new low. I think the idea is that we hang on here. So, you know, anyway, we can just wait and see what happens. I'm a level at a time guy. I don't really care which way the price goes as a trader, as long as I catch the right direction, right? And that's kind of a good way to be looking at it, I think. But if I dive back onto the shorter term, guys, I will let you know what I'm watching here. It's a wee bit convoluted in my charts. They tend to get a bit like that. I don't want the Gaussian channel on. Get rid of that, wherever the fuck it is there. Okay, so basically, let me clean this up and I'll go through exactly what I've done, and then that way you can kind of get a clearer picture of what is happening. Delete that. It's pretty straightforward stuff. So obviously we're in a downtrend. It's pretty straightforward. We can see that we're in a downtrend. Let me jump on like the 4 hour. So we've just made a series of lower highs, and you know, there's a kind of arbitrary trend line which is kind of keeping the price down, right? So what I've done is just from the low here, this is the last low, 76k, to this last intermediate or last rejection basically. And you can see I've got this little yellow box. This is my buy zone. I'm aping heavy here because the invalidation price is so close, right? This is my buy zone. Now, whether we get there or not is still to be decided. We're currently kind of pushing up here on the short term. There is, you know, bullish divergence was confirmed on the 12 hour last night, I believe. So if my charts load, yeah, right here, small drive, you've got stochastic coming up from lows, contracting kind of volatility, nothing too exciting, but you know, price can grind up here, and price can grind up, as far as I'm concerned, up to, because I removed it earlier on, this area here, to the 886, technically. I wouldn't like it if it got that high. I would be starting to think, right, I say I wouldn't like it, I would be expecting prices to go higher. But technically, you know, as long as we're making a lower low against that one, then you know, prices are probably going to continue down. We've got nothing that's telling us it's going to break up. It needs to get a new high here, right? We need to break out here, we need to form a new high, and then we need to get another higher low, and then trend continues to the upside. In the meantime, we've got this trend line which is kind of governing price action, and I've got this red line, this higher red line here, which I would quite like to certainly get short on. You know, I've aped a wee short here, but then I went flat again. It was a bit of a scalp, because I feel like there's still a bit of bullish momentum. I think we're going to get a wee bit higher here. So you've got like 85, 800 area is where I would like to short. You've got these wicks into this region here, which might provide a wee bit of kind of resistance on the way back up. It's the, actually, if I get rid of the yellow ones a wee bit, because again it can get muddled in my charts. It's the 618. This is your bearish retrace, so it's looking for resistance on the way up. You've got the 618 at 85,900, just under 85,900, and you got these little fair value gaps. That's what these boxes are. It's just a free Lux Algo fair value gap. I use that. They're decent, you know, certainly for scalping on the really low time frames. They give you these kind of areas to get in and out of. But at the moment, price has gotten stuck under this 382. Certainly could get to the 85k or just under 85k region. And to me, we're stuck under this previous kind of, if you see this bit here, I expected a decent bounce here, but because it looked like when we were coming down there was going to be so much support in this region, but the market makers were at their usual games over the weekend. They play at the weekend because the markets aren't open and they can get away with it. They can get away with just smashing the price down, and that's the primary reason why I feel this support didn't hold. Otherwise you would have got a small bounce there. Anyway, what we did do interestingly is we exactly tested the 618 off this, which was 81,200. I think it was like dollar perfect, in fact. Certainly on the exchange I'm running off is KCEX at the minute. Yeah, right here, 81,200. You know, pretty much perfect little bounce off of there. So it's whether that would, the question is, was that the low? Do we continue up here or not? And we're not going to know until price gives us that, right? The most important thing is price action. And you know, as I say, I'm in trading these super short term moves at the minute, and I've got my areas of invalidation, you know, so I would like a buy here. I've got nothing telling me we're going immediately there yet. You know, things are still bullish, you know, on this shorter term move here. Things are still looking like this can grind higher here, you know. And if you go, again, talking about Eric Crown, these are one of his setups. Although this could roll over here, you've got this 4 hour setup. Stochastics boosting up, although it needs to get a wee bit higher. It needs to confirm volatility expansion on 20%. It's not quite there. But nevertheless, the setup for upside is still in play. 6 hours the same. Just kind of volatility coming off the lows. You've got this wee green buy dot on the advanced stochastic, and stock still going up. So upside, I feel in the super short term, like today, maybe even a bit into tomorrow, is up. And it's whether we can get above this key region. I think for me, some people are saying lower, but I think this is key. 85, let's just say 85,900. You know, if we can get back up there, then it's looking all right. It looks like there's a potential. Maybe that was the low, and we get a good bit higher, and we start trending up. Until that happens, though, you know, let's just wait and see what happens. You know, we've just been rejected perfectly on the green 55, and if BBWP is low, which it is, you know, that's at one of Crown's setups there. So you get the cross to the downside, you get the retest. If this continues to fail below that green 55, then perhaps that's a short setup to the downside. That's a slow one. I'll watch that one. It's a bit slower than the kind of time frames I usually trade, but you never know. You never know. We'll keep an eye on it anyway. That is my thoughts in a nutshell. Let's just wait and see how it plays out. If you're trading the short term, you know, that's what I've got in my mind. Watch for a move up to 85, 800, and I'm going to short that. In the meantime, yeah, it could fail anywhere here and come back down. But this is my key area. I want to port this quite heavy and see what happens. You know, we've got invalidation super close, so it's not going to matter too much. You're not going to lose a ton of cash right long in here and then getting out just below the last low at 76k. Coolio. Wanted to said I was going to dump onto DEVVE, and to be honest with you, DEVVE looks really nice to me. I was as I've said in previous videos, because I've not updated for a wee while, I really wanted the 50 cent mark, and I've got this alarm set on because I've got some longs I want to port here. Could be done though, you know, because actually the Uniswap exchange gave us that. I think I said it last time. The Uniswap actually gave us the 50 cent on the nose pretty much, and you know, things look good. Look at all the bullish divergences forming on these I wonder if the 2-day, yeah, 2-day's got a fresh one. I don't know about the 3-day or any higher. I've not checked. Is there potential here? Is there potential? I mean, not really, because price is now cracking on above there. But yeah, the one in the 2-day, you know, it looks nice. It's at the level. You know, I'm being really pernickety with my entries. I'm just used to trading on shorter term time frames, but this isn't really one I'm suggesting you need to be doing that. I still feel like as long as this bull run is intact, then, you know, this is an incredible buy zone. You know, you can see it pretty much nailed that 786. This is Uniswap. I've been monitoring the MEXC chart and it didn't quite give us that. But, you know, you know, it's a solid project. They're involved in this Paris blockchain week. There's a lot of bullish stuff in the background, and, you know, fundamentally it's an incredible project. I feel like it's one that, you know, if this bull run comes, which I still assume is, by the way, but that's just an opinion. It's not based on any solid evidence until we get it. Then this one's going to port. It's going to port so high into the hundreds of dollars probably. That might sound super bullish, but that's just my thoughts based on, you know, the underlying fundamentals that are there and the use of the DEVVE token. You do your own research on that one. Don't take my advice. Never take anyone's advice, in fact, for buying a project. But that is my thoughts. And so yeah, maybe this little double bottom was it. Can I say until you know, it obviously starts making higher highs, because we don't have it. In essence, it's not dissimilar to Bitcoin, and that this downtrend needs to then shift. You could say there's early signs of that. Well, yeah, I mean, here trend lines are so arbitrary. I don't usually use them, but I mean, we'll know certainly if this move up here can establish itself above this bearish retrace, the 236 at 83. If it can establish itself above here, and on the next pullback, hold, it's got it's a slightly higher low here. So anyway, that's the kind of port it all type signal I'm looking for. These entries here are, you know, are negligible in terms of price difference when you're looking at a project that can be a couple $100 in value and it's at 73 cents. You know, it's horseshit, this tiny little movements. But I still want to wait for confirmation that things are moving, and I want to wait for confirmation really that Bitcoin is not coming into a bear market, and because of all this horseshit in the macro, you know, the Japanese carry trade, the stock market crashing, Trump fucking around with these bastard tariffs and what do you call it, trade wars, and making April Fool's jokes like apparently he did today with these like, oh, tariffs are off. I'm sure it's just bollocks and he's manipulating the market again. So anyway, that's my thoughts on DEVVE. Looks good, might be the bottom done. And then PAPPLE, which is brand new, and it has such a strong, I love this chart. I mean, this is from launch, right? There's very few projects, I showed this on Twitter the other day, very few projects are doing, you know, this from launch. Incredible. The marketing team is all over it. It's really, really nice. It's just it's an exchange, right? So as far as I know, I primarily look at charts, but I know this is a, you know, Pineapple Dex. It's going to be a new exchange. It looks really nice. Anyway, it's getting shilled by some big accounts, couple of million followers on some of the accounts that are going, and it's a tiny market cap. I don't know if it's like 4 or 5 million or something at the moment. So has potential. You can't do much TA on this. You know, it's got fuck all price history. So all I can tell you is the chart looks strong from launch, and it's clear as day it does. You know, you could run a little extension for what it's worth from that first movement to this low which was created, and then you're going to be looking for minimum, like if you're trading shorter term, 1-to-1, but ideally the 1.618. And so, you know, there is potential kind of pretty big move, 60% to the 1-to-1 just, and then 130% to the 1.618. But again, it's not a chart I'm going to be trading. I don't trade these little ones, I just hold them, you know, because I've got a bag of this from way back here, and I'm just going to hold this one and assume the bull runs intact, and this one will print. This one will go, you know, pretty high, let's assume, over the next number of months, or certainly into the end of the year if the bull run materialises. Alrighty guys, that was the update. I hope you liked it. If you do, subscribe. I'm not a new channel, but I don't shill myself too heavy, so like and subscribe, and it'll help my algorithm. And jump on that bonus, jump on the Coincatch bonus. It's a flipping no-brainer. 5k, deposit $500, get 5k to trade with. Gamble the shit out that if you want, or even better, jump on my trading group, and I'm going to be porting the exits and entries all day long. So you'll come away. Bear in mind, with that $5,000, if you make winnings, you keep the winnings, right? So it's like free money to make winnings with. I'm still offering a free trial because it's like, it's a no-brainer to me in that one as well. I'm in there all the time. No one other like guy out there is in and, you know, connecting with the members as much as I am, because basically this is my living. You know, I'm on it all the time, guys. Anyway, okay, peace out.